and welcome to So You Think You're Awake, the show about life transformation through dream interpretation. I'm Michael Sheridan. On this show, through analysing your dreams, I reveal your potential and the obstacles you need to overcome. I'm very specific. I reveal what your gifts are and the bumps in life that are holding you back. But these bumps are not in the way, they are the way. To get in on my show, to have your dream analysed, go to dream-analysis.com and submit your dream there. You'll find all the details. Just click radio show. I have a mini course coming up this weekend, and my favorite aspect of dream analysis is discovering your gifts. Yeah, when you discover your gift, when you know what it is, are you a teacher? Are you a writer? Are you a singer? Are you a channel? Are you a counselor? What is it? Fill in the blank. You quite often still have something you need to do in order to be able to use that gift in service of other people. So my course this weekend is all about discovering the gifts, the first part about that. And I go into detail in just 2 classes. So it's this Saturday at 9 a.m. Pacific time and next Saturday at 9 a.m. Pacific time as well. So 2 classes. And I pick dreams from people who show up, and I will go through the dreams and talk with that person to give you an example of how you look at your own dreams and how you discover your own gifts and what the dreams are saying you need to do in order to bring that gift in fully. It's my absolute favorite aspect of dream interpretation. Always has been, always will be, I'm sure. Because we bring our gifts in order to help other people heal from whatever their issues are. And there couldn't be anything better than that. So the mini course starts this Saturday. It's only $97. And I encourage you to do it, because not only will you get the 2 classes, I guarantee I will look at one of your dreams or 2 and tell you what your gifts are too. So for $97, you're going to get the classes, and you get to talk to me, because I'll do a one-to-one with you where I will go over a dream I pick. Then you can pick another dream. So we look at 2 dreams of yours. And in that session, I'll tell you what your gifts are. And if there's any issues you need to overcome, I'll point them out too. But you will at least know what your gifts are. And I encourage you, anybody who signs up, to post as many dreams as you want into the private community that I've set up for this course, because I'm going to scour them to see all the gifts that you've got. It's really, really well worth it, because you'll find out what gifts you have, but you'll also be able to ask me, do I have another gift that I think I have? And even if it's not in your dreams, I'll be able to tell you. So there we go. That's this Saturday, $97. It's a steal. dream-analysis.com/gifts. And you'll be able to register for that. So I thought it would be fun. I had this, I had a session on Sunday, and I went through 18 people's dreams, just really quickly telling them what their gifts were from their dreams. Now I'm going to do it in much more detail on Saturday, but it was fun to do it. So I thought I would kind of do that on this show, because it fits with the theme of what I'm going to be doing. And the first dream is from Maya, and she calls it cell phone. She said, I had 2 dreams last night about cell phones. 2 nights ago, it was one old cell phone and a new one. Last night, I also dreamed about a cell phone that became transparent. And I was on a boat also. So boats are on the water, so it's about spiritual journey. And so the cell phones are about a special communication ability. So she has the ability to communicate with her guides. And how it works for Maya is she gets thoughts impressed on her mind. That's what those symbols mean when you put them together. But she may not know that. This is something that I always find interesting. A lot of people are using their gifts all the time. They're just not aware that they're using them. And when I point out this is how it works, and so you learn how to tell, hey, this is me talking to my guides. I didn't realize this was my mechanism. So they've been able to talk to me all this time. So when you find out what that is, it can become obvious to you. And you can use it then for 2-way communication, because they can always hear you. And so we see that in this dream, because she says, I dreamed about a cell phone that became transparent. So it's going to become obvious to her how her channeling works and when it's kicking in. She says she usually dreams about her family and grandmother that died recently, of course, because you're able to communicate with the deceased. And 2 days ago, I had a dream about a Swedish singer and that we are hanging out. And that makes sense, because singing is also about channeling. because music comes from the spirit world. Lots of reasons, and I've covered that many times in the show before. And the dreamer's from Sweden, so there's nothing specific about the Swedish singer in the dream. So cool that she hangs out with the Swedish singer. That's her guide. So the dream is encouraging her to make the connection, the special communication connection, and hang out with her guides. Couldn't be better. Here's another dream. This one's from Hannah, and she says, I was standing all alone on a road in the middle of nowhere. That tells us where she is now. On one side of me was a large sea, and it was evening, and the evening sun, so the sea sparkled, and there was pink shimmer in the air and across the sky. It was so beautiful, I almost lost my breath. On the other side of me, a large dense forest towered up, and at the same time here, the evening sun shone down over the forest, so it sparkled and shimmered on the treetops. It was so beautiful, completely quiet and peaceful. But then she says, but I was scared and almost panicked because I knew I was completely alone. Okay, so that's the first part of her dream. What have we got? And so I'm just looking for gifts here. And we know from the reference to the sun that she's a spiritual healer. Hannah is a spiritual healer. She's able to put her hands on people, channel energy through her body and into her clients and help heal them that way. And the sun is probably one of the best symbols for that. But we have her saying that she was on the road in the middle of nowhere and then felt completely alone and panicked. And this is indicative of another gift, because that's what I'm looking for. And I would expect to see it in other dreams of hers, that she also has a counseling ability. And counselors often feel alone all the way through their lives. They feel kind of like isolated. Even when they're with a group of people, they feel like they're on their own. Nobody knows this about them because they're fantastic chameleons. They do what it takes to fit in or appear like they're fitting in, but really they don't feel that. And so we see that in the dream. So we would expect to see other gifts in there. Now, often we use our gifts in our dreams to help heal something. And in this dream, it's helping heal digestive system issues because we see the sun is shining onto treetops on a forest. And that's a symbol for the digestive system. She gives a lot more of her dream, and I want to be specific about gifts. And so I'm going to skip a couple of paragraphs. And at the end, she says, I feel so much love. In the next second, we all lie down on the road, on our backs, close together, looking up at the sky. It's getting dark and it's full of stars. It was such a powerful feeling, and I think so crazy that we're all just lying here. Then loud music from the sky begins to play, song after song, a blissful mix, and I laugh inside. And she says it's just like the music she plays on Spotify, no order at all. So she gets a plug for Spotify in her dream. That's fantastic. So we know the dream is, we know one of the gifts, or two of them we should say already, healing and counseling. And here, looking up at the stars, stars are about goals and ideals. We often wish on a star. We have the expression to wish on a star for something. So she's looking up at the stars with other people, with a group of people. So she's also a spiritual leader because of the group. And she's able to help people in a group context focus on goals. Now she can do it individually too, but focusing on their goals. So even if life is really bad, they're able to set goals to get themselves out of wherever they are, or goals to achieve whatever it is they need to achieve. So this person, when you meet her, is definitely going to pick you up. When you're finished with a session with Hannah, you're going to feel great afterwards because of the end of this dream. She's also a channel because of the music, and the music coming from the sky. We have it all the time. Music is such a common thing, but coming from the sky, definitely telling us she's a channel. Now, here's another dream from Hannah. And remember, she's a healer, and this dream is titled My Giant Brown Horse. So straight away, even just from the title, we know she's a healer, because horses, we measure things in horsepower. Anything to do with power in a dream is about spiritual healing, channeling that powerful energy through you and into your clients. And this is some of the stuff I'm going to be talking about on my course on Saturday. How do I tell from my dreams what gifts I have? So get on that, dream-analysis.com/gifts. Anyway, she says, this is a dream I had during the second week. Okay, that's fine. We'll skip that. I'm on a big road. In front of me, I see a huge brown horse with several people on its back. The horse is extremely large, and I know it's my horse. everyone's horse. It is there for all of us. So she's a healer, we know that. And she's there to heal other people. I remember thinking, so sad it's not white. It would have been more beautiful then. Suddenly, I'm in an old farm or old castle. I know I'm there to look after the place for the owners because they're gone. I feel a worry, a fear in my body that something is not right. Now, she has that. This is something she has because she had it in her last dream. I stand on the ledge of the castle high up. It's a very open place. There are two men following me, asking what I'm doing there. I know they are not human and that they are evil. Fear fills my body. Suddenly, the big brown horse comes flying without wings, she says, and catches me in the air and flies away. When we were in the air, I hear the horse's thoughts. It says, you never have to be afraid. I'm feeling your anxiety before you know it, and then I'll come. I remember thinking, what a thing to have a horse that is always there and who knows my danger before I do myself, and who always comes to save me. Then I regret and feel ashamed that I previously thought the horse would be more beautiful if it was white. I love that part. Okay, so we have a fear coming up because she's up on a ledge in this old castle and there's two men coming towards her. So we know there's a past life connection to this life for her. So some of the fear and panic she feels doesn't come from this life. So she looks at her childhood, she'll be like, there's nothing there. I don't get why I have this. I just always have had it and it makes no sense. So we know it comes from something from a former life. We know it's connected to the male side. And this lifetime is about healing that as well. And of course, that's what I do. That's the big work I do, help people heal their traumas. But this dream, focusing on the gifts. The horse is a healer, but a flying horse is a bit different. It says that she has the ability to do absent healing, heal people at a distance. She's able to fly the healing to them, which is great. Also, flying in a dream is about the ability to project your mind. So she's got that, but she's flying with a guide. So that tells us she's a channel as well, because the horse is a guide. And we also know she can talk to this guide because she can read the horse's thoughts. So that means she can read everybody's thoughts. So word of warning to everybody who's a friend of Hannah, she can read your mind. I'm kidding. She can though. But you don't need to be worried about it. It's a special ability she has because it pairs up with her ability to do healing. So she can tune in and see what's going on and then fix what's going on with the power of her mind. Is there anything else I skipped in there? No, I think we're good. I thought it's funny at the end though, the way she says she felt bad or ashamed, regret and shame for wishing the horse was white when the horse turned out to be such a positive thing. Brown in a dream is about practicality, but she did also have the forest in another dream. So it's also healing for the digestive system, but also says that this is a very practical aspect, gift that she has, and she needs to make more space for it in her life, use it more, and that's why it's a huge horse. So that's where she needs to focus. Lovely dream, really. Moving on, we have Trinity, and she says, I had a dream once that Perseus, a white-winged centaur, who, when I walked up to him, put my head on his chest so I can hear his heartbeat. He was massive and he was pure white, so bright. Then Perseus came and took my hand, and we went walking through the woods together until we saw 3 golden eagles with sacred geometry under their wings. Then was taken to who I believe was Merlin. This dream just gets better and better and better. And 3 other women. The 3 women put their hands on me and let my fill my body up with what seemed to be turquoise blue light. There was also white light coming out of the palms of my hands, shooting up into the golden sky. Golden light all around us, and then Merlin across the table shooting white crystal light into my heart, to the point my whole body was glowing and my eyes were very green. Any insight into this dream? Okay, so these dreams all came from a request where I said, okay, post all your dreams into this forum and I'm going to look for your gifts. And everybody posted dreams that were about gifts. It's just how it works. When you know you're going to be dealing with me, I should say when your higher self knows it, your dreams are going to be focused on the topic that your higher self wants you to understand. And so here we have a centaur. What do you say? So that's half, but it's a winged centaur, half man, half horse. So we know it's about spiritual healing again, and the ability to absent heal. So able to do hands-on healing and healing at a distance. Same as the last dreamer. You say you could hear his heartbeat. So that's important. And you put your head on his chest. So you've got to work on your heart too. And that's what you're doing the healing in this dream for. And he takes your hand, and hands are super important for anybody who's a spiritual healer, because they do that work through the hands. They channel the energy through the body and out through the hands. And so we see the hands being referred to a few times here. He takes your hand, and then these other women put their hands on you and do healing on you that way. And that's really good. And then you also see, we see golden eagles in the dream and sacred geometry. So eagles are about having a prophetic ability. So you have a prophetic ability. And you say there's 3 golden eagles. So you're asked to commit to this. And that's what kind of sacred geometry is really about. Putting mind, body, and spirit behind things. And they also have wings. So notice you have a horse with wings and you have the eagles with wings. So you're able to raise your vibration and possibly raise other people's vibrations. You don't say that in the dream, but I imagine you could, because this horse would be able to fly with people on its back. We see Merlin in your dream. Merlin is really cool. So that says that you have a special ability to work with earth energies. You don't see Merlin that often. Anybody I've ever seen with Merlin in their dream, they're absolutely amazing. They have amazing connection to their guides and even to angels and archangels. So I suspect you've got that too. And there's probably nothing that I'm saying to you that you're not aware of. I love the way you talk about being raised up by the light. You talk about golden light, which is healing, and then crystal light coming from Merlin. And you say your eyes were green. So green is about the heart. You talk about the heart a lot. So working on the female side, we see 3 women. We see that there too. That's it's kind of interesting to see that the gift of prophecy works through female energy, of course, but the absent healing and spiritual healing, they both work through male energy. But your dream encourages you to work on opening your heart more, and that's going to help you with everything else. Then we have a dream from Evelyn. She says, I was driving a Lamborghini. Its pedals were super sensitive, so it was a bit difficult to drive at first, but after a while, I got the hang of it. Really good. Very simple. You're a hands-on healer. It's like everybody is in this this show so far. You're a hands-on healer because a Lamborghini is a really powerful car, and the power of the car then symbolizes the power that you're able to channel through your body. This is something that you need to work on using this gift, and it's just going to get easier and easier. And then we have another one. This one is called Feeding Giraffes, and we know straight away, because giraffes are in the dream, we know the dreamer's a guide. We've had that in the show before. But feeding giraffes, because the focus is on feeding, if you have a waiter or somebody in a dream serving food or water or drinks, any other type of drinks, then it's also about healing, because food and water is the nourishment for our body. So we know this dreamer is also a spiritual healer. Her name is Nyana. And she says, I never remember my dreams. However, I tried the technique you said about the glass and remembered this one. It's about arranging to feed giraffes. It seems I am responsible for this task. They need to be fed at a particular time, and it seems it's a big deal. It is a big deal. So you're a healer, but you're also going to help people who are pretty, their vibration is pretty high themselves. You say, my son is involved in arranging and making sure it's going to be done. I set an alarm to make sure to wake up in time. It seems to be a really big deal, like a big responsibility, and my son is being really involved and responsible. There feels some pressure around all of this. So yeah. So guides don't just come here just to live an ordinary life. Guides come here to live a life where they are going to help other people. And quite often when we see the likes of this, Nyana's dream, you're here to wake other people up whose job it is to wake people up. So you're like 2 layers above. Your management's management. And I say that jokingly, of course, but so your job is super important because it's very much a pay it forward job for you. When you help people, help other guides wake up, because just because you're a guide doesn't mean you know what your life purpose is. But when you wake them up, they're going to help other people. The healing works through male energy, which is why your son is involved in the dream. You don't say the age of your son. So whatever age he is, that's an age you need to look back to and work on stuff around that age, because that's going to help you. And we have another one from, one from Vanessa. I don't think we've done Vanessa yet. She says, I was sitting in an audience watching Elizabeth April, who is a known spiritual teacher on YouTube. So that means you're a spiritual teacher because you're dreaming of a spiritual teacher. That's how it works. So one of your gifts, spiritual teaching. I was next to people. I noticed a few making terrible comments about her. So this is one of your fears of getting into your gifts, using your gifts, and then being criticized. So you need to overcome that. Now, it's easy for me to say that, but there are ways to do this that are very clear and help you. You say, I got upset and stood up for her. Good for you, because in the dream, that means that you're standing up for your gift. And so we often see this with people. They have a view that authority is negative in some way. Now, you don't really, but you're standing up and addressing this head on. But they view authority as negative because they've experienced it negatively. And so it transfers in spiritual terms into making them think that their spiritual teaching ability, which is also a leadership ability, is negative in some way. And the message I always emphasize is the gift is always pure. Whether somebody uses a gift positively or negatively is up to them. So you've got to realize when you have a gift, you need to look at it positively and realize that when you use it, you're not going to be tapping into anything negative about that gift. Anyway, we continue on. The men who were saying mean things started chasing me with guns, trying to shoot me. I'm going to skip that bit, but that's not good. So that's part of the issue you have. Stuff from the past to do with men. We know it's the past because they're chasing you. I quickly woke up in the dream and ran to start flying. But of course you weren't awake because you can't fly in reality. And so the flying says that you have a strong intellect, like we've seen in the other dreams, and you can mentally rise above your problems. And you have the ability to do absent healing, hypnosis, and projection. All those three come together. So the people with the flying horses, they have this as well. I then, as usual, was so happy I was dreaming because I knew I could get away. Yeah, people always feel happy when they fly in their dreams. It's always like euphoric even when you wake up. And that's the point of that dream. It helps you overcome this difficulty that you had in your life earlier. I looked and noticed I was naked, so I put on a Wonder Woman outfit instantly. Very good. So being naked in a dream is fine. It's really good, actually. It's about not being afraid to be yourself and not being afraid to be seen as who you really are. It's nothing to do with nudity in waking life. And so that's what it symbolizes. And then you cover up, but you cover up with Wonder Woman outfits. So that's really good. It's better to be naked, but Wonder Woman is like, these are my gifts. This is what I can do. I have superpowers. Wonder Woman can do all sorts of things. So it's seeing the positivity within you, seeing your own gifts, and how you view her then would be super important to telling us exactly what it means. You say you ended up in a dark church where I grabbed a bad guy by his wedding tackle, let's say, thinking of Austin Powers from last week. So censored it there. So he grabbed my leg and I woke up, and you had lots of details that you don't share. You just say you had lots of details. Always give me the lots of details, please. So the dark church is about spirituality, and a dark church says that something has tarnished your view of spirituality. Now, life is a spiritual journey. When I say spirituality, I don't mean anything religious by it. You can be religious or not religious. It doesn't matter. Spirituality is independent. But some people find their way to increasing awareness about themselves in church. Many people don't. Many people leave church and then find themselves. So it's whether it works for you or not is what's okay. But you talk about a dark church. You talk about being chased by men. So we know that you need to overcome negative aspects that you experienced in a religious context to do with men. And that has you holding yourself back. And I said you're a spiritual teacher because you talked about Elizabeth April, who you said is a spiritual teacher right at the start. And then your next dream, you title it President Biden Meeting. And you say, I had this dream before the election in the USA. I knew it was a dream in a dream, as most of my dreams have been lucid most of my life, but not always. In this dream, I met Joe Biden in an office. We talked about things. He explained to me why he would make a good president and was wearing a suit. It was in an office, kind of creepy, but not scary. I woke up thinking, well, this was strange. So you don't say why it's creepy. Are you creeped out by Joe Biden? That's important. It does nothing to do with what I think about Biden or anybody else. It's all to do with what you think about Joe Biden. And because of the negative men in your last dream, I'm going to assume you have some sort of feeling that way about this guy. And so that's something you need to overcome. And he's a guide in the dream. We know because of the title President Biden, that's about leadership. So it fits in with your spiritual teacher in the other dream. So you need to overcome something to do with male energy, male aspects that you've experienced in the past in order to step into this gift. But the interesting thing is spiritual leadership works through female energy. So it's kind of unusual to see male energy issue holding you back. Male energy is about confidence, belief in yourself, feeling worthy, all that kind of thing. But female energy, which is where this gift comes from, is about having an open heart, being not judgmental, and able to help people from where they're at, being able to listen and accept people as they are, not wanting to change them. And obviously that's female energy, and that's how the gift works. But you've got to fix something to do with male energy that causes you to hold back. I want to remind you, I have a mini course starting on Saturday at 9 a.m. It's $97. Go to dream-analysis.com/gifts. I'm going to show you in 2 classes how to tell what spiritual gifts are appearing in your dreams. And then I'm going to demonstrate from participants' dreams and show in detail how to work out the meaning and all the other things that the dream is saying, like what's holding you back, what do you need to overcome. And along with that course, you get a one-to-one session with me where I will analyze one of the many dreams that you post into the private group for the course. And you will also pick another one. I will tell you the meaning of both of those dreams. So you're definitely going to know what your gifts are by the end of the course. And that's the whole point. It's my favorite aspect of dream analysis, working out what people's gifts are. Because if everybody worked on their gifts, if everybody let themselves shine by displaying their gifts, we wouldn't have any of the issues that we see in the world today. So it's my favorite aspect for many, many reasons. And one of them being, if we all were into it, then we'd all be able to help each other. It would be a much different place that we're all living. Okay, that's my show for this week. I will see you next week, and hopefully I'll see you on my course. Take care. Bye.